everyone, this is Hugh here with Game 2 in the series between Hugh and Hugh. With Hugh on your left side, aka yours truly, is playing Gill Lapis, while on my right side we have Hugh is playing Shion. So as I said before in my previous video, Shion is a very interesting ruler. The ability to check out the top card of your deck, to plan your strategy beforehand, and not that to see what you draw, to plan a different strategy or bluff your opponent to the point that you can see what your opponent react and so on. While on your left side, you have yours truly, aka Hugh, is playing Gill Lapis in a controlled version way. I've seen a lot of versions out there trying to flip Gill Lapis on the field ASAP to do 100 damage and so on, but I don't think that's the correct play. I think you should actually control the board and so on. It's like a dual format, but however, using a lot more control spells and so on. So let's get back to the game itself. I'll explain what both decks can do. Currently, life point wise 4,000 compared to 4,000 life. My opponent has 2 of the Shion stone, while I have a Elf Priest on the field, but we are going towards his end phase now. He is over the card limit, so meaning what he needs at the moment is a red magic stone. He doesn't need any blue at the moment, so he's kind of like the RNG at the moment for him is not that good, because now he's in the situation like I have to discard some good cards now because I couldn't play anything on the battlefield thanks to those blue resources I have. So compared to him, I am quite lucky because now I don't have to worry about getting rushed at the moment, so that's unfortunate for me. So at this moment, I'm slowly setting up my field and so on. But however, I do have I have 3 dead cards in my hand at the moment, 2 Stunning Death and 1 0. I only have 1 black resource open, so meaning I need a second black resource to play with. Without the second black resource, I can't really do much, and those 3 cards in my hand are dead. So pretty much 3 out of 5 cards in my hand is completely useless at the moment unless I can get the second black magic stone, as I said before, or get a feasting from my deck at my hand or drop the feasting on the field. So at the moment, I'm trying to go very aggressive now with my resonators because I know my opponent is kind of slowed down due to the magic stone he has. So I'm taking this opportunity to do as much damage as I can because, as I said before, 3 cards in my hand is dead, so I can't actually allow my opponent to get away anything at the moment. So I need to do as much as I can. So currently, life point wise 4,000 compared to 3,400 life points. So my opponent does have a Guinevere on the field, and then he does drop the Rugate for the Guinevere Rugate combination compared to my 2 Moonbreeze Elf and a feasting on the field. My feasting does have 1 counter, so I can cancel any spell to force my opponent to cancel. I pay 1 more resource again, but however, I need to drop a lot more 6 Sage on the field to stock on those counters up, because at the moment the only 6 Sage I have in my hand at the moment, I don't have any feastings or any of the free drop feastings as well. I don't have the Muja in my hand, I only have 0, so meaning I can't even drop the 0 if I want to, so meaning I'm in a situation I can't stock up on those feastings stock counters. So my opponent does pass it and discarding a card because he is over the card limit once more, and again I didn't hit a black resource magic stone, so I'm in a situation I'm getting slowed down myself by my own RNG. So I need to find some kind of strategy to bypass my opponent's defense and go some offensive play. He does sacrifice his Rugate for the blocking phase and then search for another Rugate, surprisingly. So maybe he is thinking for the long-term strategy, trying to slow me down at the moment and try to stock up on the Magic Stone lineup, and then when he gets enough red Magic Stone, he can just go off from there, because he knows for the fact that I need my black Magic Stone and he needs his red Magic Stone. He's finding some kind of strategy to slow me down at the moment to put himself in a better position. And not only that, with the ability to check the top card of the deck, he can see what he wants or see what he needs and so on. So I'm like, oh, okay, I have a certain card in my hand, I can deal with you later. I do have 5 resource open, actually 7 resource open, but however I only have 1 Cake Zone and 2 Stunning Depth and 1 0, which are my interacting spells, and 1 Whirlwind and 1 Zig. So all my cards in my hand are interactive, but however 3 of my interactive cards are useless at the moment. So like this was Stunning Death and 0 is in my hand, can't be used, but I can use the Cake Zone, Whirlwind and Zig the Ancient Magic. So back to my turn, I do draw another feasting, which is nice. So before my recover phase, I'm going to drop it right away to stock up on those counters, and I'll get 2 counters and so on, 1 on each. So now I'll go to my recover phase, but now he responds with bouncing a card back to my hand by using Alice Wonderland. And I thought it was an odd number on top of his deck, so I'm going to counter his Alice Wonderland, so forcing him to pay more resource, because now I know that he can't respond to my cards this upcoming play. So I'll force him to do it again. He does do it. I'm like, okay, he's gonna bounce back to my hand. He said, wait. he could reveal the top card. It was an even number, so he bluffed it. So which was a nice place by Hugh because he bluffed it. I thought it was an odd number because with Shion seeing the ability the top card of his deck, I thought it was an odd number. So meaning he could have bounced back to my hand. So I was like, you know what? If you could bounce back to my hand, I'm gonna make you waste a lot of resource. But he actually bluffed it out and made me use all my counters. So now I only have one counter. So I'm back where I started again. So now with only one counter, I can't cancel as much, and to make matters worse, I couldn't bounce it back to my hand, because if I could have bounced back to my hand, I could just drop it once more and get more counters, but he actually bluffed it. So I'm putting myself in a bad position that I don't want to be in. So those counters, I could have canceled a lot more stuff outside of that Alice Wonderland, but he did bluff it, which was very nice place by him. I tried to attack directly, but he does block with the Rook Egg, and he did search for Athena, I believe, or was a Goddess of the Moon, I can't remember. However, when it comes to field-wise, I do have the upper hand because I do have 2 Moon Breeze and 2 Feasting compared to his 2 Guinevere's. We're almost at the 6-minute and 20-minute mark now, not 20-minute, 20-second mark now. I do have a lot of resource open, so I can drop any instant spell I want. So example, Zig, Cake Zone, Whirlwind I have in my hand, which is kind of playable at the moment. Compared to my other 3 cards that card in my hand, as I said before. At the moment, my opponent is slowed down with field advantage, so I am going to take this opportunity to go as aggressive as I can with my Feasting, so do as much damage as I can. He does drop the Goddess, so he's trying to attempt to burn off my Resonators and so on, but before it resolves, I have to Zig it, because if I don't, I'm in a bad situation that I don't want to be in. So I'm going to attempt to, I believe I do Zig in this current situation. Yes, I do Zig it, so now he can't even use the ability, so meaning my Feasting will survive for another day. Because he does have a lot of high cost cards in his hand and graveyard. So for those who don't know, what it does is that in his graveyard, when he dropped that particular goddesses, I can't remember his present or past, but what it does is that it removes 2 cards from his graveyard, and when you do, he can burn 200 damage directly to a J-Roll or Resonator times 2 of the 200 damage towards the resource. For example, if he removes a free cost from his graveyard, it does 600 damage, and from what I see a lot of free costs, so he can instantly do 1200 damage directly to my Feasting. So I'd rather not lose my Feasting, because I'm going to attempt to do a lot more pressure. And again, with the RNG, I did not get my Black Magic Stone. So for those who don't know, my ratio wise is that I have 4 black green Magic Stone, 3 red green Magic Stone, and 4 blue green Magic Stone. So out of all Magic Stone, all my black Magic Stone is at the bottom of the deck. So I can't really do much in this situation. So I'm attempting to go very aggressive now, attack him directly for a ton of damage, and he does take it, and it does put him down quite well. No, he actually blocked it. My bad, actually. So let's see what he can do in this current situation. Currently, life point wise, 4,000 compared to 3,400. He does block it. Yeah, he does block it with the Guinevere's. He doesn't want to take too much damage because he knows for the fact that he does play Split Heaven and Earth. So if it comes to worst scenario, he will force a draw onto me. So, but I do have Cake Zone just in case. However, I am struggling with no Black Magic Stone, so I'm in a bad situation I don't want to be in. And my opponent you don't have a Black Magic Stone, so you can't really drop the Stone in depth of 0 in my hand, because he knows for the fact that I'm looking for a Black Magic Stone. If he didn't, I would have J-activated right early in the game because of that. If he knows that I need a Black Magic Stone because he knows that I have a Stone in depth or some kind of resource in my hand that requires 2 blacks, so he's thinking okay, I'm going to force you to wait a bit longer, and he's going to attempt to drop the Goddess and do a lot of damage, but I'm attempt to cancel it. If I can't cancel it, I'll make him use a bit more resource with the Feasting effect, and not only that with the Whirlwind as well. So he is down to 1 Magic Stone, so which is good for me. So he can't do as much play as he wanted to do. So now he's only with 2 Magic Stone now with Pat tapping his ruler. So now field-wise, we'll have a Feasting, 2 Moon Breeze compared to a Goddess of the Past or Present, can't remember the top of the name, and a Guinevere on the field compared to what I had just said. I do have a lot of Magic Stone open, so I can interact again. As I said before, I don't have any way to drop those cards on the battlefield, and he does drop a Muse to gaining more hand advantage, and I'm already down to hand advantage, and I'm going to use Flame or Outer World, getting rid of the Goddess because he is going to gain more advantage. So I'm going to get rid of the field, gain the field advantage if I can. So I'm going to attempt to remove as much field as I can, and he does get a top card of his deck, I believe. I didn't see what he grabbed, by the way. Well, no, he didn't grab anything yet. He does result in grabbing Flame King Shout, a card I do not want to see, which is pretty bad for me because it does 400 AoE damage, just enough to get rid of my Moon Breeze. So, but luckily for me, he is tapped out, so he can't actually combo off now. So in my next attempt, I'm going to try to get my Black Magic Stone. With 2 Black Magic Stone open, my Stoning of Death and my Stoning of Death and my Zero in my hand will be alive. So I'm going to attack directly for 600. He does take it, and which does put him down to 2,800 life point compared to my 4,000 life. We're already almost at the 11-minute mark now, so feel-wise, Muse, Guinevere compared to 1 Feasting and 2 Moon Breeze. I do have a Cake Stone in my hand because I do know that for the fact that he will resolve the Flame King Shout. So I'm gonna try to avoid that from that resolving. So I'm gonna attempt to stop it from happening in the first place. So now he's thinking to go into attack phase now, so he's trying to go a bit more aggressive now. He does go aggressive, and I do take the damage because I don't see a point of me blocking. So I'll take the 400, which does put me down to 3,600 life compared to his 2,800. And again, I do have a lot more resource open, so I can like interact with him if I want to. But however, he does have a lot of cards in his hand to play with, so he can bait out my cancel spell if he really wants to. So now it's come to Mind Tricks now. Whoever like get Mind Trick first is pretty much in the worst scenario. So let's see what can Hugh do in this situation. He does have an untapped ruler on the field, so he can J-activate if he really wants to, and then pop a big dude from the top of his deck if he know what it is. If he does, he might be dropping a Cheshire Cat to guarantee that the card he needs. He does pay 3 resource and using Flame King Shout, he's trying to bait out the cancel spell, and which he does do. I'm trying to prevent it from happening because the only moon source I have at the moment is my Moon Breeze, so I do not want to lose my Moon Breeze. For those who are wondering, I do not have any moon source outside of my Regalias and my Moon Breeze. So the ratio in my deck is that I play 4 of the Regalias and 4 of the Moon Breeze in my deck. So pretty much those are my moon source only. So you'd be wondering, why will you play that ratio without like any moon magic stone? It's because of the fact that I want to resolve my Grettles. For those who watch game 1, you do see a Grettle, so I want to resolve those Grettles as much as I can to put myself in a stronger advantage when it comes to resource wise. So currently life point wise 3,600 compared to 2,800 life point. We're almost at the 13-minute mark now. I did cancel Flame King Shout, so he is up behind in doing AoE damage, but if he has a second one in hand, which can cause a little bit of trouble for me. Getting another Moonshade for himself. If I did mention before, the reason he's playing a lot of Moonshade is because he doesn't have enough red blue stone, so meaning that he only has 2 or 3, I can't remember. He's missing a couple more, so he's using those for now until he gets his red blue stone. So he wouldn't be using that often. So yeah. So he's going to play Snow White in the field, but he is going to force himself to pay 2 more reds, but he only has 1 red open and 1 Moonshade, so he doesn't want to drain himself because he knows for the fact that I have a Feasting in play and he knows that I can randomly cancel it, so he'd rather not take the risk losing 200 life points for no reason, because at the moment I can go on the offense now because with 2 Black Magic Stone open, I don't have to worry about the fact that I won't have any dead cards in my hand now. So all my cards I mentioned before, 2 Stoning of Death and 1 Zero in my hand was dead. Now it's not dead anymore. Now I can flash it out on the field, putting more counters onto my Resonators to give myself an extra advantage I need. So now I have a Zero, I have a Feasting to attack with, so a bit more offensive to do now. I'm going to attack directly for 700 points directly. Now he's going to choose to take it or not. He does have a bunch of Magic Stone open, so he can just randomly bounce it back to my hand, but I don't think it's a good idea to bounce my hand at all, because if he does bounce to my hand, I can just flash it in again, gain more counters and so on, so putting myself in a better position. Attacking him directly with the Feasting, which does put him down to 2,200 life point compared to my 3,600. So applying the pressure now, I'm going to J-activate now because I do have enough resource open. 1 black, 1 blue, and then 1 moon to J-activate, and then I search for my deck for a moon, Black Moon Pitch or Pitch Black Moon, one of those 2 names. Put on the battlefield. Now my J rule is sitting on 14-14, and knowing that with that many resources open, I can randomly God Arc, I can debuff his Resonator or J ruler, so putting myself in a strong position that I need to be. So now it all depends on my opponent, what does he do now. So I'm going to pass turn now. I do notice that I do have 2 Stoning in my hand. It's kind of useless, but I'd rather have a big body on the field at the moment to apply the pressure. So now I'm going to pass back to my opponent's turn and see what he can do in this current situation. field-wise, he has a Muse compared to Pitch Black Moon, 1 Feasting, 1 0, and 2 Moon Breeze, and a Gill Lapis on the battlefield. So let's see now. He can J activate if he really wants to, and randomly Godark into my Gill Lapis, but I do have a Regalia in play and a Moon Breeze, so I can cancel it pretty easily with no problem. So now it depends on my opponent, can he apply the pressure onto me, because at the moment all he needs to do now, do a lot of pressure onto me to put myself in a bad situation I don't want to be in. But let's see what he can do now. He does have a lot of cards in hand, as I mentioned earlier in the game, but he hasn't been using those cards in his hand at the moment because he's being screwed up over with his Magic Stone in the early game. If he wasn't screwed over in early game with Magic Stone, I think he could have done a lot of damage to me, but due to the fact that he did get mana screwed, is a relief for me then, as you can say. So let's see now. He does have 2, 4, 6, 8 Magic Stone open, so he can do a lot of chunky play. But however, I do have a Zig in my hand, if you don't remember. I think I have 2 cancel spell in my hand. 1 cancel spell, 2 Stone of Death, and 1 Feasting on the field with 1 count on it. So now he has to play around my cancel spell, we can say. Not only that, his life point is very low, so I can go very offensive on my next turn and do a ton of damage. So let's see what he can do. So who's under pressure at the moment, like what can you do in this kind of situation? He does have a lot of cards in hand, as I said, but if he doesn't use those cards in hand, he can't really do much. He does use a Flame King Shout and try to nuke my whole entire field. I'm going to attempt to force him to pay more resources to get less play from him, and I'm going to try that again with Whirlwind in my hand, I believe. Yep, I use Whirlwind, forcing him to use more resource to the point that, like, if you want to resolve that, fine by me, but I'm going to force you to use more resource so you can less play now. And then I resolve with tapping a moon from my Moon Breeze, so I can use it later on before he ends his turn. Because I still have 1 Black Magic Stone open, so I can Godark if I really want to. He does drop a Fiend on the battlefield. With a Fiend in play, is a very offensive card. When he takes damage from me, it gains a +2 1/1 counter, so it gets a lot bigger. So he's going for the offensive play now, and I'm thinking, should I block it? But why will he attack me when he knows I have a J rule in play? So I was thinking he might have some kind of interaction spell. So I'm gonna take it. So not taking the risk for the fact that knowing my opponent might have some kind of interaction spell. So I do take it, which does put me down to 2,900 life point, and with 2 cards in hand, 2 Stone of Death, I can easily get rid of his Resonator pretty easy on the field. Let's see what he does. He tapped for another Magic Stone, surprisingly, so he chooses not to J activate at this point for the extra defense he needs. Maybe forcing him to use a lot more resources is a lot better for me, because now he actually paid 5 resources just to drop a Fiend on the battlefield. So, and I'm already on a chunky life point, so he can't really do much to me at the moment. And I don't think he really wants to split Heaven and Earth, because I believe I will survive the split of Heaven and Earth, but he can't. Let's see now, 15. Yeah, he won't survive the split Heaven and Earth, but I will, I believe. Let's see, I have 8 Magic Stone. Yes, I will definitely survive the split Heaven and Earth with 300 life points. And I do use the Godark, so I'll go through his deck and see what I can grab. He doesn't have any Regalias or any Field Edition in his deck, so meaning that I only can grab a Resonator. So I'm thinking, should I grab the Goddesses? If I grab the Goddess, I can remove his field, but then again, if I have the Blazer in play, I can stop him from getting cards in the graveyard. But I was thinking I should grab the Goddess then, but then again I was thinking, nah, I think I need more damage. I need to apply more damage, so I need to grab the Blazer and do as much damage as I can. So now I'm using his best card against him, and he only have 1 Resonator to block with, and has 4 Magic Stone open to interact with me, but I do have a lot more field control. He has Muse, Athena compared to a Blazer, Gill Lapis, Feasting, and Zero, and Pitch Black Moon. He does take the 600, and he does take the 700, which does put him down to 900 life point. So putting him in a low life point position, meaning he can't split Heaven and Earth me. If he does, he will lose the game. I'm attacking with Blazer. He does block it. I say, sure, you can use it. Paying 200 life using the spell card, and I use Stone of Death to get rid of it, and the damage does go through, and that's the game, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for Game 3.